Here's a look of a couple specimens in my collection called the Parlor palm. Scientific name is Camderia elegans. This is one of the smallest palm species out there, native to Central to South America. Um, and it's quite common in the trade. You can find these, growing in a bundle of like 30 to 40 seedlings at probably Walmart for like 10 bucks. Really, really cheap. But however, these two specimens I got is relatively rare because they're quite aged. You can tell from the trunks they got. You can see it's got almost like a bamboo looking trunk with different segments. And here is the other one. The difference between these two palms is one is a male and one is a female. The taller one is actually the male, and you can't really tell until they flower. So normally the male flower, if we can focus right here, um, are more tightly cluttered with the flowers. So the round little balls here are actually the flower. Still haven't opened yet. Once they mature, it'll turn yellow, but they're very close to each other. And you can see there's a lot more flowers versus a female. As you can see, it's more thin and spread out. And for this particular one, as you can see, is actually mature and it turns yellow and the middle portion opens up. You can also tell precisely their gender by actually opening up the flower and looking at the inside. But for me, I'm just determining it based off how the whole bundle looks. So you can see, again, these are very old. It possibly could be older because when I repotted the female palm, I noticed the trunk has actually been cut on the bottom and then rerooted. So potentially this one has been maybe double, triple the height. And the previous owner probably just snipped it to keep it short. These are very, very slow growing. To reach this many segments probably takes about more than a decade or so, or even a couple decades. I can't really tell by the age by just counting the segments because I really don't know the history. Normally, like in my growing condition, I don't really provide anything. As you can see, I just fertilize it every spring and water it. There's no humidifier, there's nothing. The room is actually quite dry. It's about 37% humidity right now, and the temperature is about 64 degrees Fahrenheit. And again, in this type of condition, these palms normally grow about one segment a year, or maybe two segments during the growing season at max. So again, as you can see, based on how many segments these have, quite potentially have been like a couple decades old. So normally when the leaves or the fronds gets a little older, I just snip them off, and eventually these will turn yellow and they'll just peel off, opening up to a new segment. Again, these are supposed to be solitary individual growing palms. They're not supposed to grow in a cluster like what you buy in the store. And when you buy those like $10, $20 cluster of 30, 40 seedlings from Walmart or your other nurseries, eventually there's going to be a few dominant ones that's going to stay alive, and it's going to kill off the smaller ones because they're outcompeted. So ideally, once these grow large enough, it's good to take them out of the pot and separate them and keep them growing individually like these. And you can see when you zoom out a little bit on this palm, they really look like miniature versions of, for example, coconut palms that you find on the beach. So these are quite cool and quite rare to find ones this old. and I'm fortunate enough to land a couple of these from Facebook Marketplace. So yeah,